Welcome back to the channel there, Papa's Posse. Once again, it's time for Papa's Comic Books, coffee, and more. Okay, before we begin, don't forget about that QR code right there. You hit that QR code, take you to my eBay page, my YouTube page, and my Instagram page. All the social media you'll ever need. Let's see who joined us today. Ooh, here's something different. The first star-spanning issue, The Visitors Are Our Friends. This book was 75 cents back in February of 85. It says February 85, but it was printed in 84. This is number 1. Story is City on the Edge by Gary Bates and Carmine Infantino. Now don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button down below, okay? As well as leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought about it. Tell me if you want to hear more. Okay, let's get into it. I think it's going to be a long read, though, so let's go. Los Angeles. The city over 3 million people live and work in this sprawling Southern California megalopolis, renowned the world over, not only for its stately palms and postcard-perfect weather, not only for its seemingly endless concrete cloverleafs of intersections, freeways on which the traffic never stops, not only for its 70-year reputation as the glamorous entertainment capital of the world, and not only for its precious miles of sand, sea, and surf stretching from Long Beach to the exclusive beachfronts of Malibu. No, despite all of the above, Los Angeles of late has become notoriously infamous in the eyes of the rest of the world for a far more compelling reason. Just ask LA residents about the colossal disc-shaped shadows cast over the suntanned faces with alarming regularity. For Los Angeles, you see, is one of several dozen cities scattered across planet Earth which have been invaded by the Visitors, a cold-blooded race of evolutionary advanced lizards who, disguised as humans, profess to be mankind's friend, while in a secret they carry out their true purpose, ravaging the Earth of its water and precious minerals, and abducting men, women, and children aboard their gargantuan motherships to be used as lizard food. City on the Edge. Unlike other cities in temperate climates overrun by visitors, Los Angeles, ours in recent months, found itself in unique, if not highly precarious position. It stands as a kind of neutral zone where visitors and Terrans alike subscribe to a doctrine of peaceful coexistence. One of the most popular watering holes in this tension-fraught area is the Club Creole, which happens to be often frequented by a certain fearless few who comprise the core of the daring visitor resistance, a small band of courageous individuals who have pledged their lives to but one noble cause, the downfall and defeat of the aliens who daily ravage their planet. One drink toasting Julie's birthday, and you and Andy look like you've just guzzled 2 pints of battery acid. What gives? I don't know, Gooder. I guess you could say me and Chris, we got an attitude problem. I can guess. Keeping it under control doesn't leave much good cheer for other dispositions. What Ham's trying to say, Donovan, is this whole idea of a neutral zone stinks. He doesn't think much of it. And me, I second the motion. We've been over all this before, Ham. Nobody likes what happened here, but for the president, it beats turning the LA basin into an open battlefield. Yeah, tactically speaking, I suppose this insanity rates points over the other kind for the present. But you understand, I was never a big fan of the laid-back lifestyle here in LA, in La La Land. I just hate to see any burg turned into an R&R stop for this army of two-legged monsters. Look at them over there. You can't tell if they're looking forward to digging their fangs into the desert or into the water who's serving it, into the waiter who's serving it. They certainly came in quietly with their proverbial tails between their legs. Too far away to hear their voices, But if that trio's human, the bartender's Telly Savalas. Normally, 3 more visitors would be nothing to get alarmed about. Ever since the neutral law went into effect, the club's been infested with them. But I've never seen those 3 before, or lizards wearing trench coats. Either they brought them after seeing an old Humphrey Bogart movie, or they all have something to hide, like weapons under their coats. Get down, everyone! Mike, this better be good. Apologies, Gooder. You've just made my day, just so you don't make their moves. Donovan, a few more blasts and this table will go up in smoke, and us along with it. Julie, about time to test our new Teflon-coated ammo and see if it can penetrate the armor padding under those lizard suits. Bang! I believe that's a yes. Oh, my shoulder. Chris, damn, couldn't draw a bead on him. Didn't think anything cold-blooded could move that fast. Here you go, pal. 1 lizard flambe. Compliments of the house. Way to go, Tyler, but don't count on much of a tip. Blast. He's got a Idile, using her for a human shield as he backs out toward the door. Phew, I'm a good shot, but not that good. Not with Adel's life on the line. Yeah, well, that's your problem, Gooder. Me, I can pick a fly off a bullseye at 200 yards. So blasting the nose off a lizard face is no problem. You'll be fine, Idile, after you wash the scales out of your hair. Speak. What is the disturbance in here? The Earthers, they started it. That's right, they opened first. You must wipe them out. Set an example. You think you're going to live out the week, Chris? Sheesh, just look at this place. Oh yeah, hurts like hell, but it's nothing but a scratch. What I want to know, was there anybody in the room who wasn't carrying an illegal concealed weapon? Amen, brother. I thought gunfire was supposed to be off limits in here. Bam, 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 bam. Just goes to show you, these aliens today don't have any respect for the law. This kind of firepower could only come from a whole stinking troop. Even the visitors don't use excessive force without a reason. You gotta be jiving, Julie. In their book, this kind of action is called target practice. I'm talking about the first 3 who opened fire on the table. That was no random display. I agree. It was more like a professional hit. They were out to get one of us, maybe all of us, which is why we better split up. Doubles our odds of getting out of here. Scant seconds later, Ham and Chris emerge amid a violent cascade of shattering glass in the alley behind the Club Creole. Hurry! As soon as the smoke clears out front, they're going to want to know why they can't find any dead bodies. While at the same time, back inside, Donovan and company swiftly head through the hidden passageway, which leads to the secret resistance headquarters beneath the Club Creole. Phew! At least down here we can breathe easy for a while. Easy, you say? You to say? Easy for you to say. I got to start making out a bill for all that damage up there. Who do you plan on billing, Elias? Diana and the mothership? No sign of them inside. They all must have escaped through the broken window and found in the back. Phew, no wonder they call it garbage. Can it? Commence a perimeter search at once. We'll fan out in all directions. Can it? You're a regular riot, Ham. So it's not exactly a stretch limo. It's still our ticket out of the battle zone. And no one knows we might scrounge up something half decent to eat in here. Psst. Pass, I was never big on sloppy seconds. And back in the Club Creole. Sorry, Lorne. I don't know how he managed it, but he eluded us, along with the others. They must be outside the perimeter. You're absolutely certain you wounded one. No question, we found traces of blood on the floor inside. Then I assure you, their escape is nothing more than a temporary setback. I predict we shall have the one we want within 1 Earth revolution. Hours later, outside the city limits, near the base of Santa Monica Mountains, a jeep approaches a remote movie studio ranch that has long since fallen in decrepit state of disrepair. However, upon closer inspection, one would find these old sound stages are far from abandoned. Hiya, Willie, what's cooking? The Skyfighter, for starters, it was a short-circuiting this morning. We finally traced the trouble to a faulty transducer coil. I thought Ham and Chris were coming with you for this testy fight. That's test flight, Willie. And no, Ham and Chris were unavoidably sidetracked back at the Club Creole. In that case, meet two new resistance rookies who can take their place, Boyce and Hart. I take it you fellas never been in a sky rally before? No, ma'am. Then hop aboard, gentlemen. It's imperative all members of the underground familiarize themselves with the visitor's technology. Be sure to fasten your seatbelts, guys. The lady flies like a fiend. I'll get you for that, Donovan. Swear to God, Ham, if you don't stop stuffing your face with garbage. Sure you don't want the rest of the stewed tomatoes? Positive. Now, what do you say we stretch our legs? We got to get outside the city limits by now. You know, I think you're right. This is the time to jump. Ah, fresh air at last. Fresh air? Get serious. This is L.A., remember? Damn, that fall didn't do much for this whole lizard's put on my shoulder. I guess we just have to get you a doctor pronto. Yeah, sure, out here in the middle of the Santa Monica Freeway? Right. That's exactly right, bucko. Now you see why we jumped when we did. I noticed that an ambulance about a half a mile behind us on the freeway. All I got to do now is flag Dr. Pronto down. Easy, Ham. You spook him too much, he'll run off the road. Well, what is this? Emergency medical insurance? Here's how it works. My buddy here has a bum arm, and you boys are going to do a crackerjack job patching him up. That's the medical part. You screw up, and I guarantee you'll be hurting a lot worse than my friend is. That's the insurance part. An explanation, Diana. An explanation, Lydia. You know very well what I'm talking about, that all conceived embarrassing displays of violence that took place down below in the neutral zone. I am well aware we have surveillance data that suggests many resistance fighters frequent the Club Creole. But you must learn to look at the wide spectrum, Diana. And as long as I deem that it continues to be, I will be tolerating any further unauthorized breaches of neutrality within the zone. Do we understand each other, Diana? The neutral zone we've established in Los Angeles is proving to be quite useful to us. I believe you, and I always have understood each other, Lydia, perhaps too well. Leave me now, Diana. And for your sake, I trust there will be no further such lapse in judgment. Such recklessness is not like you. Yes, on that point, I absolutely agree. And even though you had no knowledge of the skirmish in the neutral zone, you let Lydia believe the attack was carried out on your order. Far better for Lydia to accuse me of a lapse of judgment than a lack of control over my command. I want you to go down there, Parnell, find out all you can about the attack and why it took place. Most of all, I want to know who persuaded 3 of my soldiers to disobey me. When we both know the penalty for such impudence is far worse than death. Yes, Diana, I will keep you informed. And he goes down. So you see, Mr. Bates, even though Mr. Tyler and his burly associate escaped from our initial assault, it is only a matter of hours before the corpse shall be delivered to your door, as we agreed. I sincerely hope so, because ever since the psychotic mercenary threatened my life for striking up the neutral zone arrangements with the visitors, I have been expecting a bullet in the brain from Mr. Tyler's gun. Here's your initial payment for our agreement. You'll get the balance when I get Ham Tyler in a body bag. I know it's none of my business, Lauren, but just what do you and your squad of lizard rebels do with our money? Let's just say, after all these months of being forced to commune and coexist with humans, my squad and I have learned it takes an abundant amounts of your currency to enjoy what I believe in your vernacular is called the good life. Meanwhile, whatever winged your arm, sir, it's not like any wound from any slug I ever saw. Yeah, well, what do you know, kid? You two are too young to be anything but second-year interns, third year. Whatever, he's going to be all right. The wound has been properly cleaned and dressed. As long as he goes easy on the shoulder for a while, he should be fine. Going easy ain't exactly our line these days. Hold on, gang, make it a hard right. We got trouble, Ham. You got that right, good buddy. We've been ID'd by the Santa Monica Goon Squad again. And they've added a new wrinkle to their bag of dirty tricks. High-velocity jetpacks. Oh, great flying lizards. Now, like the skies over the city aren't already polluted enough, floor this buggy, Ham. We don't want any trouble from the visitors. Don't worry, Doc. If one of those laser blasts scores, we'll swear you don't know us just before the ambulance blows sky high. Something's really got to be done about the sense of humor of yours, Ham. I'll say one thing for the sky fighters. The visitors sure know how to make a pilot happy. Once this baby is airborne, it does everything but make toast. I see what you mean, Julie. The aft scanner shows another skyfighter approaching from due east. Let's just hope our new toy performs the way it's supposed to, or the five of us could very well end up resembling burnt toast. Attention, this is surveillance craft DSD-55. Identify yourselves and proper response, please. If we don't respond, they'll assume the ship is being piloted by resistance fighters. They'll try to shoot us down, and I'll have to pull a Luke Skywalker and shoot them down first. Nobody's going to be firing a shot if the Volca simulator can deliver the goods. But lizard voices sound like nothing human. Soon as one of us speaks into the squawk box, they'll know we're warm-blooded. Not necessarily, guys. Okay, Mike, everything's in place. You're on. We repeat, identify yourselves with the proper response, or we will take offensive action. This is surveillance craft SG-78. We are searching for terrain below for fleeing resistance fighters reported at large in the area. Very good, SG-78. Resume your perimeter search. And should you find a human fugitive, scorch a few for us. Ceasing transmission. Why those no good sucking? I ought to shoot him down now just for general purpose. Down, boy. This was only supposed to be a test, remember? Now we know the Volca simulator can get us through occupied airspace in one piece. Phew. I guess you guys don't believe in losing your cool under pressure. Welcome to the Resistance, fellas. After you're in the field a while, you'll learn life and death situating can crop up on you anytime, any place. Mike, it looks like this is one of those times and one of those places. What is it, Willie? Why are we losing power? It's the transducer coil, Mike. I guess it wasn't okay after all. That's A-okay, Willie. Something we're definitely not going to be. Not if I can't pull us out of this uncontrolled spin. Let me turn it back. Vista Marina. Boom! I hope you interns don't mind hitching your way back to the hospital. Under the circumstances, Mr. Tyler. No problem. Do they think we're all dead now? Not a chance. Lizards don't give up that easily. They'll comb every inch of the marina until they spot the warm bodies thereafter, namely Ham and me. You got it. We never saw you. This is where we part company. If you're smart boys, you never saw us. Whoever they were, they must be on the visitors' most wanted list. What a day we're going to be on somebody's list back at Mercy General once they hear about the ambulance. Mike, there's a small town about 5 miles to the east. If you set us down on a flat plain over there, at least we wouldn't end up stranded in the middle of nowhere, assuming we can survive the crash landing, you mean? That's what I like about you, Donovan, your eternal optimism. Is he serious, Julie? I thought he said these things fly like a dream. That they do, boys. But even visitor ships, careening out of control, hitting the ground at 100 miles an hour, have been known to crash and burn quite nicely. A tumultuous, bone-jarring 30 seconds later, aside from 5 sets of rattling teeth, everyone seems to be intact and unhurt. Not bad, Donovan, considering your pilot's license renewed. Thank you, Miss Parrish. I suppose the first thing we should do is go into the town and assure the locals we're definitely not rodent-eating visitors. No offense, Willie. None taken, Mike. But we don't have to go to the locals. They're coming to us. So I see. Now that's odd. What is it, Mike? They look like your average cross-section of typical small-town types, all right. They seem to be coming to greet us. But unless I'm misreading the situation, they're all bearing gifts. Well, what do you think? No contest. It's the fastest number on the side of the marina. Then let's take it. With any luck, we'll be a mile out to sea by the time those flying lizards realize we gave them the slip and circle back here. So far, so good. So far, so good. She looks empty. After the day we've had, it's about things started going our way. Sorry to let you down, Porky, but this bad day you and your buddy are having is about to get a hell of a lot worse. Drop the artillery, or I drop you. I told you you should have eaten something on the garbage truck. You're telling me nothing worse than getting snuffed out on an empty stomach. Hello there, people. Mike Donovan's the name, and this is Julie Parr. What is it? Is this weird, Mike? Look at their faces. Every one of those smiles disappeared the moment we stepped out of our ship. You're right, they look mystified. Make that terrified. Something's not tracking here. These local townspeople see a visitor skyfisher crash and land outside their town, but they had no way of knowing there were good guys aboard instead of lizards. Mike, no, do you know what that means? Those crates, they weren't meant for us. They brought them for visitors. But why? What kind of hold do the lizards have over these people anyway? And what I want to know is what's inside those crates. All righty. Well, that was V, The Visitors Are Our Friends, #1 from 1984-85. Now, don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Please hit that like button down below. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought about it, okay? Let me know if you want to hear more. All righty. Now, as Papa and Mike and the lizards always say,
that was easy.
Until next time, Papa is out.